Hey guys, I think I'm live. And sorry about the 1 minute delay. Actually, my phone has stopped working. So that is a bit irritating. So I think even Panali can't contact me. Yeah, Panali, my phone is not working right now. So I'm not able to communicate with anybody. And yeah, hopefully it'll start working. So guys, this will be a very brief introduction to E4. So we're going to look at black's options, and I'm also going to ask you which options do you prefer as white, because not only do the variations have to be correct and adequate, but they also have to suit your style. So do let me know if you can hear me and see me, and then we can begin. So I can't really check the chat on the phone, so I'm looking at the screen, and hopefully it'll be fine. So guys, let me know if you can hear me and see me if I'm live. Because I can't check it myself on the phone right now, and लैपटॉप पे करूँगा तो फिर वो echo होगा. Hi Mayank, Krit and everybody else. So Dave Hotacha. Okay, that must be Abdut, I guess. Great. So guys, so I don't know which first move do you guys play. I made a video on this, and which move would suit your style more, and you can check it out later on. I think it's the first video you see when you kind of go to the channel, so I'm sure you'll find it very easily. And that is the first video you should see after the stream ends, so that you will know whether let's say E4 is for you or not. I will also briefly mention it. Thanks a lot, guys. And I will also briefly mention what I mean by what I'm actually trying to cover in that video. So basically, E4 and D4 are two different styles of play. I think, of course, many people play C4 as well, and that is also very common. However, I think somehow in the end, it mostly lands up to E4 or D4. And we look at both of them right now. So first of all, D4 is what I play. Now, the advantage to D4 is that even if I don't remember a lot of theory, I think this is pretty decent. Let's say I have not looked at opening theory for a year. I can go play D4, whether I play the London or even if I play the main lines. I know not that much has changed in the theory, and I can easily manage to, let's say, play any variation I want without wondering too much about theory. In E4, however, that is not the case, and the theory is ever changing, especially in the lines with the Sicilian. And even with E5 and Caro-Can, French, all these lines are very dangerous for both sides. So it's not true, Pratik. Actually, E4 can be positional as well. For example, even in the Najdorf, there are many variations where white plays positionally. We look at them, and it's just that it is more critical. For example, if you make a mistake in 1d4, then that will not be a huge issue. You will always get a chance to come back. But with 1e4, I'm not so sure. No, Panali, I'm okay. I'm doing fine. I'm just a bit sad about my phone. I don't know why it's not working again. Panali knows my phone is prone to, uh, it it is not the best phone in the world. Yeah, C4 is also okay, guys, but somehow I have not seen any player in this world who plays chess seriously and who plays C4 exclusively. It's very rare. Usually, C4 is coupled with either D4 or E4. It's not played single-handedly. So I would not say C4 is a full-on repertoire, and I would not recommend playing only C4, because anyway, black can play E6 and transpose into D4 openings anyway. So that is something I also do often. So you have to know something along with C4. For example, C4, even C6, and this is going to transpose into the Slav. You have no option. Whether you play knight C3 or D4, black will always play D5, and it will transpose into the Slav. So C4 is not a full-on repertoire, guys. You have to know something along with C4, and usually it is D4. Sure, Aryan, आराम से बीच में देखते रहो. So E4 now, guys. This is the first one we're going to focus on. We had a poll, and majority of you, 50% basically mentioned. आर्यन शिफ्ट तो किया आधा घंटा, 5:30 से 6, मुझे कहा 5 से 6 होगी. So now black has many responses, guys. So let's try to look at them one by one. So the most common is E5. Then there is C5. I'm kind of mentioning these in decreasing order of frequency. Next is E6. Next is C6. Next is G6. And of course, then there are sidelines like knight F6, White can, of course, even play knight c6, but that will probably just transpose into some other opening. And d6 will, of course, again transpose into g6. And b6 is, of course, completely ridiculous. And we'll also look at that briefly. So somehow you have to look at all the lines. Let's start with one. Now, e5 is the most common. Here, of course, the most common move is knight f3. And black has two main moves, knight f6 and knight c6. There are many lines. d5 is a move here. We look at all the gambits, guys. Don't worry. We look at all the gambits in the coming days. And अच्छा आर्यन, okay, वो तो मुझे नहीं पता था. So there are many gambits. Sometimes f5 is played, I think. I don't know. We look at all these gambits. And the most common move is knight c6. And of course, knight f6 is the Petrov. So we'll also look at this. And knight c6 is most commonly played. And now you again have a choice between bishop c4, the Italian, and the Spanish. So this is a choice which is very personal, I think. For example, as a child, I used to play e4 and I used to play bishop b5. And I used to play the exchange here. This is what my coach taught me. अरे चल गया क्या प्रतीक? कैसे चला यार? That's amazing. मैं चेंज कर दूंगा. कैसे चला फिर? क्या इशू था यार? मुझे बता दो. क्या इशू था फिर? I'm glad it worked. So this is what I used to play. And hello Alpheus, hello. So I will also briefly mention this, but of course we'll mainly look at this. Now, if you guys really want to play the Italian, I can also focus on it. So I am going to really ask you right now, which one do you prefer? Is it bishop c4 or bishop b5? Because we cannot focus on both extensively. And only one can be covered properly. So I'm going to ask you right now, and this is why I have taken up this stream, because I'm asking you guys which one do you prefer, and according to that we'll kind of schedule the streams in the future. So guys, if you are here, that means you have a say in this. So which of these moves we prefer to look at? Is it bishop c4 or bishop b5? That is the first question I'm going to ask you guys. Okay, one vote for bishop c4 by Aryan. Okay, hi Purvi. 2 votes for bishop b5. Venkatesh, bishop c4, 3-2. 3-2 right now. Okay. Okay, Alpheus 3-3. Okay. It's 3-3 as of now. Okay, 4-3 for Ramakrishna. Okay, 5-3 for Italian. Pratik, 5-4 for Italian. That is not true. That is not true. That is not true. My lighting should be fine, guys. I think I'm clearly visible. Ooh, I think I should be fine. Crit, not Scotch. Scotch is not the most ambitious, and it's not the best opening, I think. Scotch is basically for people who want to try to play some traps, not the Scotch. Great, guys. I think it is very much tight. So what I'll do is I'll choose it myself. I think this was a bad choice. I'll choose it myself, guys. Great, because it's very much tight. So I will kind of look at both variations a little bit first, and then I'll try to choose one which is let's say more appropriate, and I would try to come up with that. So Aryan, so that is okay. Okay, Krit is also Italian ke favor mein thoda sa hai. So we'll look at it, guys. So I'm going to mention one of these moves, and of course against the Petrov, guys, I think it is very much clear which choice is better. And I can increase the size, of course, that I can do. Okay, now it's fine. And iske against the line is very easy, guys. It is knight e5, d6, knight f3, knight e4, and knight c3. This is what I have also faced as black the most often. I have played the Petrov a few games, and this is the most ambitious for white as well, because you kind of try to bring your bishops, queen d2, castle queenside, and because you have this extra pawn, there is no attack on your king, while that is not true for the black king, which most probably goes to the king side. So that is what we'll focus on in the Petrov. And this is the main thing. And of course, there are many gambits. I think we're going to look at them one by one. कोई चक्कर नहीं है, उस पे हम ध्यान देंगे ही देंगे. And yeah, you can start with this, but this is not what we look at, because यहाँ पे c6 वाली move आती है एक. And I don't like to face this in the opening जहाँ black center ले रहा है. I know it is very debatable whether who is better here, but I would not like to go into this. I think knight f3 is the best way, and knight f6 ko we just capture. This is the most ambitious way to play, and we'll focus on this. Now we come to let's say the Sicilian. Sicilian way, guys, this is something which I think when Pannali has played, I don't know why. I cannot really recommend this at all. This is just ridiculous, to be honest, because if you're playing e4, you should not play knight c3. This is just ridiculous, to be honest. One major idea here is to kind of play this as a move order thing. For example, you can play this, and for example, if e6, then you go back knight f3 and you try this again. That is okay. But in most cases, I think you should play knight f3. And this is the most extensive, I think. And we're going to look at this, but we'll basically look at this at the end because this is the most extensive and it will take a lot of time. So we look at all the other options, for example, the French, the Caro-Kann, e5, and then we'll come to Sicilian. And we'll focus on this. Black has the knight off, black has e6, black has knight c6, black has g6. And to be honest, I myself want to play e4. And till now, I have been debating whether it is worth playing e4 because it takes up a lot of theory. But I am going to learn it myself, and I'm going to help you guys learn it as well. That way, there will be incentive for me to learn as well, because I have to make sure that you guys learn it, and I will not slack in my preparation. So it will be beneficial to both of us. And in case knight c3 is okay, I think the Grand Prix attack, I know, with f4, knight f3, bishop c4 or bishop c5. But that is not, I think if I am playing black, I'll be very happy to face that over the board. I know exactly how to equalize. I would not recommend that at all. I would not play e5. I would not play e4 if I'm going to play knight c3 here. That is not just the move I would play. And I think you should be ambitious. You should play knight f3 and go for an attack. You should not be afraid of anything. Maybe I'll recommend one sideline briefly in each Sicilian just to kind of avoid it. For example, against the knight off, I'll briefly mention, for example, d6, bishop b5. This is something I've faced as black, but I really love this as black. I play bishop d7, takes, and both queen d7 and knight d7 are just amazing for black. I have faced this at least in 10 games against higher rated players. All of them were higher rated players. I have never lost a game as black in this. So that tells you how easy this is for black. So I would not recommend this, but I will of course briefly show some of my games as black, showing what white I played here, and also let's say what I played as black to kind of equalize. Yeah, Venkatesh, I'll choose the main lines. I'll choose the main lines at all. Now after Sicilian, this will focus on the last because this is the most extensive. And now we come to the Caro-Kann. Now Caro-Kann, I think, no, Aryan, you're absolutely wrong. If anybody has told you that Sicilian के against Grand Prix खेलना चाहिए, तो he's absolutely kidding himself and also trying to fool you. That is just completely wrong. It is just a way to kind of avoid doing the effort yourself if you want to teach somebody. Hi Rohit. So if I want to save the effort, I will say, okay, you know what? The Grand Prix attack is very good. Let's just play knight c3 and avoid all Sicilians. Like, that is a very easy way to avoid everything and avoid doing the effort yourself. But I think knight f3 has to be played. If you're playing e4, play knight f3. Otherwise, don't play e4. I'm simply recommending don't play 1e4 if you're going to play knight c3 on the first move. It can be a move order trick, but it cannot be anything else. It cannot be a full-on repertoire. Now we come to Caro-Kann. No, Aryan, it's just that it's easier for him to teach new players to play knight c3. That's why he's mentioning this. It's not because it is the most ambitious way. I'm sure if you gain your rating, if you gain in strength, his opinion about the openings to you will change, because it's very difficult to teach amateur, somebody who's new, all of this. It's very difficult to teach somebody, but I'll try my best. And but if you are a serious player, you want to improve, you have to play knight f3. You just have to play knight f3. You cannot play knight c3. It is just a way to kind of save effort for both the student and the child and the coach. So I would not recommend this. So now we come to c6. Here d5, d4 and d5. Now I have to analyze this myself, but there is one variation I really love here, which is, I will mention which one because I have not checked the theory in a while in this, because that is the variation because of, I think it was knight f3, d5, knight c3. Was it this? I'm not completely sure. There's one variation because of which I completely stopped playing Caro-Kann. And yeah, Aryan, exactly. He says till 2000, but in actuality, I would say it is around 1600, not more than that. If you have a rating of more than 1600, start playing the normal variations, the main lines. Do not play anything else, because yes, it will save you the effort right now, But long term, for example, I have fallen in the trap of playing the London. Of course, London is amazing for bullet, but in general, in classical games, I myself have fallen in the trap of playing London too often. And you have to learn the main lines. I I would disagree with Panali here, guys. I would say anybody above 1600 should go for the main lines. I think it's also a perception because Panali has played knight c3 herself, so it's kind of difficult. But I understand. But I would contradict her and both Prasenjit sir. I would say if you're playing against the c5, you have to play knight f3. Hi, Gizmo girl. So now c6 d4. I would of course recommend one main line, but there's one more sideline I would recommend. That is simply capturing. If you are looking for easy play, let's say you're not prepared for the Caro-Can, because the only reason I'm recommending this is because it literally transposes into the London system. You see, after bishop f4, this is actually the London system. Let's try to redo the move order. So d4, d5, bishop f4. Okay, just a moment. Bishop f4, c5, e3, takes, and we are back here. So this is literally the London system. So I will briefly mention this because just as an alternative, although I would say you should play this in 1 out of 5 games, not more than that. Hi, Saurav. So this is one more option with the Caro-Can, and Caro-Can is not too often played as compared to the other openings, but of course you need to know what to do. And now we come to the French. Now French is intense, guys. I mean, it has so much theory. There are many Sicilians. That is why Sicilian has more theory. But in general, if you had to choose one Sicilian, French has much more theory than any one Sicilian. And d4 and d5. There are many moves here. e5 is the old way to play. I would not recommend it. Knight d2 is something which would suit my style the most, I would say, because it's like a solid way to play. And knight c. Okay, just a moment. I don't know what happened. Yeah. And knight c3 is the most dynamic way to play. Yeah, Venkatesh, it transposes directly into the London system. Aryan soch north-south nahi hai. I think it's just that this is something that I've realized because I have played as black against 1 e4 and somebody plays 2 knight c3 against me. I am already so happy on move 2. I know this person is not ambitious enough to learn a lot of theory. That means I am very confident already. Of course, if he's some grandmaster, he can do that. He can avoid theory. ठीक है, मैं grandmaster हूँ, मैं इसको ऐसे ही हरा दूंगा. But if he's a player who's comparable to my strength and he plays knight c3, I'm already so confident कि हाँ भाई, definitely. ये game तो इतनी difficult नहीं होगी. So psychologically ही मैं कितना confident रहता हूँ as black. So that is the thing. Yeah, Aryan, 2 knights, exactly. That is also interesting, but knight c3 is the most ambitious way to play, guys. Although I think knight d2 is also a very practical choice. So I will come to this decision very soon. Which one should I recommend it to you guys? Because knight d2 is something which will suit my style perfectly because it has some insane amount of theory. I can show you one of my games actually that will let you know kitni theory hai isme. Just a moment, guys. I will quickly show. This is a game that I played this year itself. So it's not like this is from some way gone times. Just a moment. I will show you this game. How amazing it is. Let me just quickly find this game out. And yes, I have found this game out. So I'll very quickly copy this game and show you. So guys, usually what happened was I was playing tournaments. And often people would play this weird move order with me. Like what they would do is they would start with this. Against d4, they would play e6. And this was kind of a very difficult move order to meet because if I play the London, they would play c5. And suddenly it's very difficult for me to play. And if I play knight f3, again they would play c5. And now I can't really play bishop f4. You see how difficult it is. This move order is not so great for me if I really wanted to play the London. And I decided to try French once. So what I did was after d4, e6, my opponent trying to be clever. Smith Mora is not a good opening, Aryan. I would not recommend it at all. It's a horrible opening. Horrible is literally not a strong word there. I would not recommend it. So I simply played e4 here. So I transposed into this. And this was my idea. So we kind of reached this position after d5. My opponent played c5, takes, knight f3, cd4, bishop c4. This is all opening theory, guys. And I'll tell you how much theory this is. So castles. I am I'm white here, by the way. Even though I don't play 1e4, I played this year. Knight f6, knight b3, knight c6, takes. And here, if you want to go for a solid position, you can capture with the queen. If you're playing a strong grandmaster, I think it's practically impossible for you to lose this if you capture with the queen. Even if you're playing against a 2500 grandmaster, you will probably end up drawing 5 and losing 5 only. And that is comparing to a rating of 1400. You won Aryan in Blitz, but if you play classical chess, it will not work. Guys, because I am trying to base the repertoire on classical chess as well, we don't necessarily want to see what works in Blitz, and certainly it is horrible in classical chess. So we have to find a middle ground which works in both cases. It might work against 1500, but it will not work against 2000 or 2200 or 2500 plus. They can even avoid the gambit like I do. I just completely avoid the gambit. I just play knight f6, and then suddenly all of your preparation is useless. Vienna Gambit is more interesting, but we'll come to that. We'll come to that because I have to research it. Aryan, I don't play 1e5, so we'll come to that later. So I played knight d4, a6, rook e1, and you see how white is fully developed. Black still has to castle, and there's already threats like knight f5 and many moves coming. So queen c7, and now bishop b3. So bishop was attacked, and now bishop d6. So you see this is a very, very let's say provocative move. Knight f5. So this cannot be captured. g7 is hanging, the bishop is hanging, and black captures the pawn. So white has sacrificed a pawn. Castle, king h1, and castles. And can anybody guess the move here? What is the best move for white in this position? Can anybody guess it? Yes, Gizmogul, we covered Italian. I basically asked everybody which one would they prefer. Would they prefer bishop b5, that is the Spanish, or would they prefer the Italian with bishop c4? But there was a very divided crowd. So I think we'll basically, let's say, choose one of this. I will choose it myself. One of those I will choose myself. So don't worry. Thanks, Anton. Yeah, exactly. Ramakrishna is very interesting. So what do you think is White's move here, guys? This is what I played in the game, and this is opening theory, by the way, guys. This is opening theory. This is all opening theory. So it's not, I knew this before the game itself. So what do you think I played in the game, guys? I mean, I'll see. I'll try my best because pura divided crowd tha. I think it was like 7-5 in the favor of Italian. So I'll try my best. Yes, Alpheus, knight takes g7. And if black plays king g7 here, he's lost. Can you imagine that? If black takes on g7, it is lost for black. It is already lost for black. You play queen d4. So I will come to this theory, but this is all opening theory, Rohit, all opening theory. And this is all forced. One mistake and it's over. That's why I mentioned e4 is insane. One mistake and the game is all over. So Ibrahim g3 is going to lose for white because black might just capture the knight, or he might just capture the knight and he's a pawn up. So exactly, so knight g7, and here the best move for black is rook d8. That is the best move for black. And white plays queen f3. Now king g7 and bishop h6. Black cannot capture this knight. King g6. And now can anybody guess the best move for white? Try to guess the best move. Hi Siddharth. It's okay, Indra Singh. It's okay. It's okay. Try to get the best move, guys. Gizmogal, we'll cover it. If I basically go for Italian, then I will cover the Ivan's Gambit. If we go for the Spanish, then we wouldn't. But considering that Dubov went for this, I am very tempted to check out the Italian. But I will check it out. Whichever is I feel is easier to convey, easier to learn for me and for you guys, I will choose that one. So because I also have to learn E4, so I will choose that based on my understanding, because there was an equally divided crowd. So I could not have an easy, let's say. Yeah, Rohit. And this is from a player who does not like taking risks. So what do you think is the best move for white here, guys? Yes, yes, C3, C3, exactly. This is all theory, guys. C3 is theory. C3 is theory. Now, here black has two moves, and if you check this opening, here there are two moves for black. One is knight h5, one is e5, and e5 has been played by many grandmasters, including Vidit Gujarati, and this loses by force. In fact, I kind of was surprised when I saw this for the first time. Yeah, delayed advance gambit. I was very surprised that e4 loses by force. So you see, all of this was forced up till now, and e5 here, which looks like a developing move preparing e4, is losing by force for black. So the only move for black here is knight h5. This is the only move in the position. So here there are many moves actually. I played the move bishop c1. Now, Venkatesh, I will tell you what is theory. Don't worry. I will tell you what is theory. I will tell you what is theory. You can, the basic tool to check is to go into the database on chessbase 16. But because not everybody has it, I will make sure that you you can understand it. So don't worry. You cannot capture the bishop, guys, because it is protected by the queen, and neither can black capture because of queen f6 and then something like rook e3 or bishop d1. So it will be lost for black. Yeah, Rohit. So knight h5 is the only move. And in this position, so I played bishop c1 because now the bishop is hanging. And now bishop f4. And here, and by the way, this is the 19th move. And this is theory. This is all theory, guys. This is all theory. This is the 19th move. This is all theory. And I had prepared this at home. And so did my opponent. So we both knew all of this basically before at home. So g4 is the move now. Knight g3, fg3, bishop c1, rook c1. And this is where my theory ended. So this was move 22 when finally I had to think for the first time. And yes, Ambarish, kind of. If any side goes wrong, then the other side will gain some sort of advantage. And because it's e4, then the advantage will be more serious than in the case of d4. So that is the idea. And here bishop d7 was played. Basically, I had looked at the main move here, which was b6. But my opponent basically played bishop d7. So I was out of theory now. So bishop c6 is the threat. And I tried to just exchange the bishops, and we reached this endgame. And I kind of, let's say, I kind of outplayed him here. He offered me a draw here, and actually black is better because I have these weak pawns, and he just has to play king f6 and rook g8 and one by one capture these pawns. So I was slightly worse. But I kind of, because he was slightly lower, I was 2250 and he was 2050. So I thought maybe I should continue, and I managed to outplay him in the endgame. I'll quickly show how. This is how the game went. So I doubled up on the f file. I made his rooks passive one by one. You can see both his rooks are passive. And now rook h5. And I showed this game before as well. And now he's losing because this pawn is lost. He cannot protect all the pawns. And he tried something, but okay. You can see I am clearly a pawn up, and I managed to win this game. He was, let me read his name. Alexander Konstantinov from Macedonia. So that was the player. And queen g4. Venkatesh will get into the theory. Don't worry. We'll get into the theory one by one. Let's not go into too much theory. I just wanted to show you how much theory there is. Because, for example, bishop f4, queen g4. I think the problem might be just king h7. It might just be the problem. We'll have to see actually. But we'll come to this. I think I had not thought at all, Ame. I had equal amount of time as I had at the start of the game. So, and you have to remember, I was playing a guy who had a rating of 2050, and he knew all of this. So imagine somebody who has a rating of 2000 and 2500, how much theory would that guy know? So that is basically the French defense. So that's why I think knight d2 is a very good idea, because not only is it very safe if you want to play safe as white, but it also has this insane amount of theory where you can go crazy and have a lot of fun. So it is very flexible. That is the French, guys. Now we come to the Alekhine. This is very easy, guys. We look at e5, knight d5, d4, d6, and just knight f3. I think this is the simplest way for white to play and gain a slight advantage. We look at this briefly because this is not played very often. You'll face this one in 100 games. So we look at this. Now we come to d6 and g6. They basically transpose in most cases. Hey Rick, we are looking at what we are going to cover in the opening series that will come from tomorrow. We are trying to understand a little bit. Yeah, Vishal, experience is a must. So in both these cases, it will probably transpose. And because this can also happen with d4, I have faced this a lot. And I can even show you my games. This is the only variation which I have actually faced over the board because it basically transposes either way. So even if you start with e4, let's say g6, d4, bishop g7, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3. So this I have already played many times. I have excellent record with this. And I'll recommend something like bishop e2. This is what I play. And I'll show you some of my games and that will help you out to understand the system. Yes. This is all of basically what we look at. And if you feel that I miss out anything during the streams, you can let me know. And this will be a lot of fun, guys, because I personally do not play e4. I have played this as a child, but I definitely wanted to play this always. But finally, I have the chance where I have a liability. I have to teach you guys. So I'll be forced to learn. That is good for me because otherwise I was a bit lazy about learning all of this theory. But now I can do that because I'm kind of forced to come up with streams. And that is the best part because now I have to do this. And it'll be a lot of fun because I really want to play this. I really want to play attacking games like Tal here. Why kind of struggle? Let's go for this, all of this. Why kind of settle for London when you can have these crazy games? And this is the knight of guys. I play this as black. There are many systems. Bishop e2 is the safe line. Bishop e3, bishop g5, h3, a3. There's so many. f4, g3. There are so many options here, and we will learn one of them. Of course, we don't need to learn all because that would be stupid. We only need one of them extensively, and we will cover that. So this was a brief introduction, guys, and we're going to look at all of this in the future. If I miss anything at any point, just let me know. And maybe I won't be able to come up with an explanation immediately in that case, because of course I am also learning. But in the next stream, I will have a starting of 10 minutes where I will cover up all your doubts if I cannot cover them immediately. For example, there's something deep, some deep concept which requires me to look at a few games. So I might not be able to cover that immediately, but we will definitely cover all your doubts and also all of mine. Because even I have to learn this. So it will be a lot of fun. And of course, moves like knight c6, they don't make any sense. You can play knight f3 and black will eventually have to play e5. So these moves are not really that useful. Yeah, h3 is interesting, Pratik, but it's not the most ambitious. So I would not probably recommend h3. I will recommend something else. Vishal, the thing is, I understand that, but technically I don't play e4. So I have to learn this anyway. I am using this as motivation to learn it myself. So technically I am doing this for myself only. I benefit a lot from this, and when I teach you guys, I revise all of it. So technically it's like it's a win-win situation for all of us actually, and that is the best part here. So this will be fun, and we're going to start from tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow we'll cover the gambits. We're going to start with e4, e5. Now I recommended knight f3, of course, and this is very easy, guys. Petrov is very easy. We'll briefly cover this, but we'll do that after looking at knight c6 because Petrov is not the main thing you will face, and we'll look at it later on. And knight c6 is something you'll face most often. And now there are many moves. For example, you can play, I will see, for example, if I play bishop c4, then you have to know gambits like d4. You have to know, say, castles, knight f6 and d4. You have to know the Ivan's gambit, you have to know c3, you have to know d3, you have to know many moves here. I don't know, for example, this, I mean, of course not right now. For example, some people play this gambit. I don't know if you have heard of this, knight takes e5. And if you don't know what to do, this can be intimidating because you see how your knight is being kicked about. You need to know even this. So there are many gambits. अमेर राय लोपेस में भी गैम्बिट्स हैं, राय लोपेस में भी उतने ही गैम्बिट्स हैं. हाय हर्षल, राय लोपेस में भी उतने ही गैम्बिट्स हैं. So there are many gambits in the Rai Lopez as well. So you will not be able to avoid these gambits anyway. And all of these openings are very interesting. So we will have a lot of fun looking at them. And we'll also look at, yes, Gizmo Girl, he lost. Maybe I remembered that game. Let me quickly try to remember. Yes, he played knight e4 here, queen e2, queen e7, and something like this. I think after queen takes e4, he resigned or something. Like, I don't know, something like this. I don't remember. It was similar to this. I think he blundered simply in the opening. He lost this against Kazimdanov. I think. Venkatesh, because black can also play the gambits, right? And that will also be options for you, because it's not just white who plays the gambits. For example, I think there's a move like d5 here. So this is this is one more gambit. So you have to know this. So you have to know all of it. And if you don't know, I think not only would that give you an option, you can try these gambits once in 10 games, but also you will understand the opening better. So I don't see how you can basically learn the opening without knowing these gambits. It is absolutely necessary. And of course, we won't spend too much time on this. We'll focus on the main lines the most, but we have to cover this briefly. And especially now that Dubov has played it, if I do choose the Italian, then we will definitely look at that as well with c3 and then b4. And if we choose this, then of course one will be bishop a4, and we'll also briefly cover this because I myself lost a game as black in this, so it's not so easy because I had an equal position and I wanted to win and I tried too much and I lost that game. So it can happen sometimes. If I myself have played this as white as well in 2 games and I won those, so it is not completely stupid. So we'll look at this as well briefly, and we'll look at all of this, guys. So let's see. We'll start from tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll start with e4, e5. Most probably we'll cover some gambits tomorrow, and slowly we'll kind of fish to the main lines. It will take a long while, guys, because Vishal, I can definitely do that. Definitely I can do that. Although I don't know how many of you actually have chess base. That is the only worry I have. That is the problem, because not everybody has it. But I will share it. What I'll do is I'll basically either I'll pin it in the videos, or I will just create one page on the website so that you can access all the PGNs in one place. One of these things I'll do. Yes, Gizmokal. I think it might have been 6 moves. Yes, it might have been 6 moves. Yes, Gizmokal. So I'm trying to convey what type of openings we'll cover, and I showed you one of my games how crazy it can go. So Berlin का तो यार बड़े grandmaster भी कुछ निकाल नहीं पा रहे. So I am not so sure if we should actually go for the Berlin, but we'll see. Ame, I don't think you need to know 19 moves, but in some lines, जैसे वो जो मैंने game दिखाई, in that case you need to know, because if you don't know, you will just lose in the opening itself. So वो एक rare case है. It's not common to know theory so much. In fact, Kings Indian में हो या even in D4 opening, sometimes you have to know all of this. So you don't need chess base 16, guys. You need any chess base. पुराना भी कोई पढ़ा हो, किसी से borrow कर लो, दोस्त से 13. मैं खुद 14 यूज़ करता हूँ यार, मैं दिखाता हूँ. I wish I could show you somehow. मैं खुद chess base 14 यूज़ कर रहा हूँ. So it's not like कि you need chess base 16. कोई भी पुराना हो, कोई भी हो, चलेगा. Panali uses chess base 15. So Venkatesh, because it's interesting. I mean, if we don't look at Dubov's games, I would be literally killing my curiosity and yours as well. So we will definitely look at Dubov's game as well. Aryan abhi choose nahi kiya. We'll think. Yes, you can use the premium account, but it's still not as convenient as the chess base, because chess base is on your desktop. You don't even need internet for that. You can simply access everything. You can save your files. You can save everything. So that is the best part about. If you don't have chess base, guys, I'm sure many of you do. So कोई आपस में बात करके किसी से borrow कर लो, या I don't know how you can solve it. You'll have to find somebody, because कोई links होते हैं. I would not recommend using these shady links, क्योंकि उसमें virus आ जाएगा तो फिर laptop ही छूट जाएगा. So yes, exactly, Vishal. तो theory बहुत होती है कई बार. Great. If you can use Lichess, and I have never used Lichess in chess.com, guys, for this. I have always used chessbase, so I don't know how to use it. And if you can use other stuff, there's an online database as well, and you can also check that. Ambrish, it wasn't a winning advantage. The only thing was that it was so easy for white to play in that position. I think we forget that in the end it's humans playing the game and not computers. So we just focus on the engine evaluation and we see okay, ये तो equal है. But it's actually players have to play this, human players, and they are prone to mistakes. Somehow we have to also look at practicality. So that is the basic idea about that. It will work for a time, Gizmo Girl. It's not something permanent. You will, if you have the premium account, either it will be valid for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and whatever it is. So, Aryan, don't do that. Don't do that. I know you've gotten it for free. दलाल मत बनो यार. ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए. That is not correct. वो technically illegal भी, Aryan, by the way. I must warn you. What you are doing is illegal. So chessbase कभी आके मार पड़ेगी chessbase वालों से तुम्हें. Venkatesh, because the thing is, I think chessbase 14, 16 does the job. So it does the job. All of it does the job. So I don't necessarily need chessbase 16. It's just कि 14 पूरा काम करता है. And price में I think chessbase 14, 15 fake links पे मिलता है. So it's not necessarily that great. So chessbase 16 was something which genuinely helped people. So that's why we kept chessbase 16. हाँ भाई, मुझे पता है, फोड़ा है भाई. अब क्या करूँ, इंसान हूँ मैं भी. Anyways, so guys, what time do you feel we can keep this as हाँ, अगर खरीदा भी है तब भी नहीं बेच सकते आर्यन, तब भी नहीं दे सकते. इवन देन इट इज इलीगल. यू नॉट अलाउड टू गिव इट टू एनीबडी, वरना मैं तुम सबको दे नहीं देता क्या. इट्स नॉट अलाउड, यू कैनॉट डू दैट. अगर 200 का भी ऐसे तुमने बोरो कर दिया किसी एक बंदे को, नोबडी फिगर्स इट आउट, कोई चक्कर नहीं हुआ, ऑफ कोर्स मे बी यू कैन, बट अदरवाइज इट्स टेक्निकली इलीगल टू. फॉर एग्जाम्पल गाइज, व्हेन Unacademy was streaming, so it was made very clear by chessbase that none of the people who are streaming can have these fake chess. They have to buy it. So it was made sure that all of them actually bought the chessbase. पूरा ध्यान रखा गया था chessbase की तरफ से. So nobody can actually do this without any risks. तो risk है वो, you have to decide if it's worth it. And guys, so now the final question is, what time can we keep for this series? I want to make sure कि it's accessible to everyone, because होता क्या है कि if it's no, Aryan, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. It's not allowed for 2 users. I can assure you it's not allowed for 2 users. I don't know, at least I have not heard of this. So बहुत रिस्क होगा if you're doing this. I don't know. Anyways, so क्या टाइम रखें इस चीज़ से guys, because we'll stream at 9 or 8:30 or 9:30 for the night stream, and that will basically be tournaments and streams and fun stuff. And maybe for example आज कोई tournament ही खेलेंगे. For example, there's this आज खेलेंगे, आज 2 tournaments खेलने का plan है मेरा. I'll let you know which ones. So that will come to that. So the second thing is 8:30 we'll have a separate stream, because that is completely different. Openings will be let's say a 1 hour stream, and I'll cover one line in that day, and it will take a long while. But of course I also have to learn, so it will take time, but we'll slowly but surely learn everything. So yeah, Ambrish, exactly. वो थोड़ा सा chill stream रखेंगे, and we'll have play tournaments, we'll play battles, we'll play a lot of stuff. But I don't want to put up openings there, so that yeah, exactly, Gizmogal. I'm not going to keep openings at that point. So it has to be before 6 p.m. let's say. So anytime before 6 p.m. just let me know. 6 a.m. No, not 6 a.m. sort of. 8:30. Let me check. Yes, Ame, I think if you have it, you basically have to just put up a position like this on the chess base. You go to your reference database, and you will have all the games ever played from that database, and you can see the percentage record, win percentage for each and everybody, each and every move, and slowly you build up your repertoire. You see why this doesn't work, and all of this, so that will work out for you. So do let me know which one is the best time for you guys. I think it should be after, let's say, 1 p.m. but before maybe 6 or 7 p.m. So do let me know, and you can mention it in Discord as well. Even if you want to think about it, you can let me know, and I will choose the time maybe tomorrow morning. So you can let me know by tomorrow which time is comfortable for you, and I will basically choose the time which is, let's say, most in demand. Aryan, वो lag computer की वजह से करता है. It's not about chess base, I think. It's more about the computer. For example, if you have an old computer जो आई डोंट नो i3 है सम 6th जनरेशन i3, तो उसकी ऐसे लैग कर सकता है. आई डोंट थिंक इट्स टू डू विद वो. 8 AM पे कोई नहीं आएगा हमें, मैं भी नहीं उठता 8 AM तो क्योंकि वी हैव दिस लॉन्ग स्ट्रीम, तो आज तो मैं भी नहीं उठता. 3 PM रख सकते हैं. सो ठीक है, 3 PM इज़ वन सजेशन एंड 6 PM इज़ वन सजेशन. ग्रेट great great. So you can let me know on Discord, guys. Either you can message me personally or you can just type it in the general channel, and I will choose the time क्योंकि वो consistent रखेंगे so that people know exactly when to tune in, and we'll choose the time tomorrow morning. So great, guys. This was a short stream to introduce you to E4, and this is going to be sharp. Some lines are sharp, but some lines are also very normal like D4, and we'll all learn about this. i7 है फिर तो नहीं पता, लेकिन हाँ हो सकता है लैग करता हो सकता है लैग करता हो. उन्होंने कुछ करके रखा होगा कि इफ़ यू डोंट हैव द सीरियल, आई डोंट नो लाइक, बट यू हैव बॉट इट राइट, फिर क्यों लैग करता है? आई डोंट नो. तुमने तो खरीदा है. आई डोंट नो, बिकॉज मेरा तो बिल्कुल लैग नहीं करता. माइन इज फाइन. आई हैव, मेरा भी i7 है एंड आई हैव चेसबेस 14, सो 15 का मुझे, एंड प्रणाली है चेसबेस 15 बाय द वे, सो उसका भी सही चलता है. ओके, 6 PM इज़ वन मोर सजेशन. ग्रेट. सो वी सी दिस गाइस, एंड मेरा फ़ोन अभी काम नहीं कर रहा है, सो आई होपफुली आई विल बी एबल टू फिक्स दिस सून, and I'll check your message on Discord. So see you guys. I'll be back at 8:30 today. So we have one tournament at 9 and one tournament at 11:30. So we have two tournaments and we'll cover both of them. बहुत interesting होने वाला है. So maybe you don't know about these tournaments, but दोनों के दोनों बहुत interesting है. So it'll be a lot of fun. ठीक है भाई, दिन की नींद का भी देख लेंगे. Interesting. We'll see. So 10 AM is too early हमें, because I think people would not be available. मुझे मैसेज कर दो यार, इफ 10 AM इज फाइन फॉर यू. आई डोंट माइंड दैट एट ऑल, बट आई थिंक 10 AM विल बी अर्ली फॉर मोस्ट पीपल. सो विद दैट विल एंड द स्ट्रीम गाइस. आई विल सी यू इन अ कपल ऑफ आवर्स, लेस देन कपल ऑफ आवर्स एक्चुअली. येस एग्जैक्टली अम्बरीश, वन इज दैट टूर्नामेंट, यू आर एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, एंड दैट इज एट 11:30. तो बुलेट खेलेंगे एंड हिकारू भी खेल रहा होगा. होपफुली ऑल ऑफ दिस गाइज विल बी प्लेइंग दैट. इट विल बी जस्ट लाइक टाइटल ट्यूजडे, एंड वन मोर टूर्नामेंट इज देयर एट 9. सो वील सस्पेंस रिवील होगा गाइस जल्द. मैं अभी थंबनेल डालने वाला हूँ 5 मिनट में, सो यू कैन हैव अ लुक एट दैट, एंड I'll see you at 8:30 guys. So see you soon. Take care. Keep smiling, and hopefully I'll see you on this long journey of 1E4, where we'll all try to develop our repertoire and play some exciting attacking chess. So see you guys. See you soon.